what they had to tell to the people. But as soon as I leave here, I'll go back and listen to what they have to speak. Brothers and sisters, Bob the Mechanic, right back at you, fellow combatants. I'm taking off the deck right now in my F-35 bombardment, aiming at Mr. Museveni's sycophants, minions, and stooges. You understand? Ballistically, we bomb at them. You understand? So, brothers and sisters, we are not playing around. This is not politics as usual. This is a revolutionary. We are less concerned of being perceived politically correct. So, brothers and sisters, let us speak nothing but truthfulness. On a recap of the security alert, of course, by ASP Asime, Biban Politics, and Teacher Kajubi Irumbiye, respectively. First things first, His Excellency Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu, I know, by the grace of the Most High, you are safe, sound in health. Brother, take care of yourself, because all Museveni stooges in diaspora have been reawakened, reactivated, to search for you just like a penny. And the things they want to execute, it is none other than but poison. So Teacher Kajubi Irumbiye yesterday came out and informed the general public and global citizens largely that Museveni reactivated all his, agents within the diaspora community to track Kyagulanyi Ssentamu when they spot a chance to be poisoned. You understand? So that is a security alert that was aimed at Kyagulanyi Ssentamu, the legitimately elected president of the Republic of Uganda. Dear Mr. President, despise not the information, and we are quite confident that God is love. It is the ultimate protection, but fickle mortal as we are scared of such security alert being, eating warm food that brings that kind of fearness in us. So, brothers and sisters, to all you members of National Unity Platform in the diaspora, serving in your respective chapters, please, the security alert includes the whole of you. No one was singled out. That means the whole fraternity of the diaspora leadership, the whole fraternity of the diaspora leadership is to be held accountable. If something happens, God forbid. If something happens, God forbid, I repeat, all of you chapter leaders, starting with you, Dr. Kauma, leadership with all due respect. Leadership with all due respect. The African diaspora leader, that is Jajaibu, based in Pretoria, South Africa. All of you chapter leaders, please, it should be borne in your mind that if anything awful happens to Kyagulanyi Ssentamu while in diaspora, traversing and disseminating the information, strengthening the foreign policy, as in to topple the murderous regime. If anything happens to him, brothers and sisters, you are going to create a trench, a very, very deep ditch that will take ages to be healed within our conscious minds, and it will lead us into a catastrophic confrontation. So, brothers and sisters, diaspora leaders, protection for Uganda's vision bearer is in your hands. And we call upon to all the authority in our respective countries, the countries that hosts us as Ugandans in diaspora, Ugandans who are in refugeeship because of the persecution of misruling of Mr. Museveni. We call upon these governments, when we call upon you, that so and so, he is the one who was infiltrated. He is the one, Museveni's external operative. Please respond ASAP and hold that person and be investigated. So, brothers and sisters, another security alert all the way from ASP Asime Biban Politics indicates that currently Mr. Museveni, he has no any other strategy that can revive the minds of the people of the Republic of Uganda, having abducted their children, young men, who are the bedrock of any developing economy. Mr. Museveni having poisoned the elderly people, being fearful that they must not tell their children the history and how Museveni came into power. That Museveni, he was a refugee and he was offered the hospitality, but instead of appreciating the kindness and the things that was done to him when he was in need, he perceived it as a weakness and chose the gun to be the supreme. Thus, whoever dares to question his legitimacy, he ends up either 6 feet deep or behind bars. But we are not intimidated, Mr. Museveni, because the Constitution impels us, Article number 1, to fight for its presence, to fight for its preservation. This is what we are doing directly, Mr. Museveni, in the broad daylight. We have no intention of starting insurgents that are intended to massacre humanity. No, we don't have that kind of a feeling. We are civilized people who respects humanity. So, Mr. Museveni, stop plotting all that you are plotting. Brothers and sisters, what is this? A security alert. It must be borne in mind. Young men, Ugandans, all of you young boys and girls, my daughters, my sons, all of you in high school, in primary school, pay attention. In 1990, 4 years after Museveni had successfully captured the political institutions of the Republic of Uganda, he initiated what he termed as privatization. So by definition, privatization, that is the selling off the parastatal companies owned by the state into private entities or sold to private owners, you understand? But in a real sense, that was uncalled for, because the purpose of which these parastatal companies were created in the first place, it was to alleviate the burden of unemployment from the state, right? So the unemployment, it is skyrocketing in Uganda, yet Museveni sold those parastatal companies. So that was denying a responsibility. Why would a state functional and sinful in mind sell off its responsibility? Isn't that corruption? So brothers and sisters, Museveni embarked on that ideology and he confiscated the national economy of the Republic of Uganda 1990. Brothers and sisters, ever since then, all the companies which were employing Ugandans were dismantled, particularly the coffee processing machines, which is currently in Rwanda. Brothers and sisters, you can see that there was nothing Museveni has ever done, and it was just an abrupt thing. No, there was never such a thing. You could see that whatever that has, demolished Uganda's society, it is been a gradual process, systematically well calculated, and this must be termed as a policy. The impoverishment within the Republic of Uganda, it is the illegitimate government's policy. You understand? It is not something that the people of Uganda are so reluctant and they are not willing to upgrade their well-being. We know ourselves. We know we are entrepreneurial. We know we are hard-working people. And we know Uganda, it is not lacking intellects. Uganda, it is not lacking substantiated knowledge to lead the society into prosperity. No. But the retardation of everything in every aspect has a lot to do with the greediness of the man who chose jungle method as a way to settle human relations, which is unacceptable. So Mr. Museveni, having sold all those parastatal companies to himself and actually incentivized them within the community of Indians, they brand themselves as direct foreign investment, but we know for a fact that this is not any investment, but rather a spoil which is being registered into foreign nationals to be kept or not to be traced. You understand? So brothers and sisters, ASP Asime yesterday brought a security alert that Museveni, in his effort to stay afloat, he has come up with a grand theft scheme. You remember he stole each and everything while exchanging money. And that a Ugandan farmer took 1 million shillings to get new currency. But in 1 million shillings, a farmer was given 7,000 in return. 7,000 in return. A person who have taken 1 million shillings. So that is when Mr. Museveni stole the wealth of the peasants. At the very beginning, when he was changing the currency from the fallen regime of Obote to his own demonic regime Uganda has ever seen. You understand? That was a grand theft. Now, he sold all the parastatal companies and he gave it to Rwanda. No wonder why Uganda coffee is exported on the international market branded as Rwanda coffee, and all agrarian products, all fresh produce are being exported in Europe branded as Rwanda products. We all know the people of Rwanda, they are not people who are engaged into things, productive things apart from rearing animals, right? I'm not trying to degrade these people, but the separation of the people is the conundrum we have been enduring for these past 40 years. It has a lot to do with this ethnicity. So brother, when I mention this tribe or a group of people, not a tribe, within that ethnicity, there is a clique of people, and their number amounts to 35,000. These are the people who orchestrate all the atrocities, all the genocidal tendencies within the region of East Africa and Central Africa. To all you scholars on the continent of Africa, to all you students in the school, and to all you peace-loving human beings, please take time to research in the things we speak. So brothers and sisters, getting back to the point of Mr. Museveni's grand safety scheme, he said that, according to ASP Asime, Museveni is planning to bring back all the previously privatized parastatal companies, that he is bringing them back to be run by the state, right? So one wonders, what was the purpose of them being privatized in the first place? Was that problem rectified? There was no problem, obviously. Museveni himself was the problem because he was fearful that he cannot rule over a society with the middle class income. Thus, he had to lay all sorts of strategy to perpetuate poverty. In the speech, he said on his nomination day, His Excellency Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu indicated that they turned the citizens as beggars, and they use our poverty to control our thinking capacity. Remember, whenever Museveni wants to do something, he comes up with food. With food, he tells us that we are going to serve you food, come and congregate, because they think that we are much concerned on eating food as opposed to the well-being of our society generationally. So, brothers and sisters, the poverty perpetuated by Mr. Museveni's murderous regime, it is intended to keep people busy in nonsensical things, chasing money, without deliberating on the well-being of their great-grandchildren in terms of leadership. So Mr. Museveni wants to use this scheme to steal the wealth of Ugandans again. ASP Asime explained thoroughly that by returning each and every parastatal company Museveni confiscated, they are going to inflate the price which they want the government to compensate Mr. Museveni's family when they are bringing back the things they stole from the coffers of the Republic of Uganda. You understand? Now you can imagine, global citizens, that Museveni has been siphoning from the coffer of the Republic of Uganda unconstitutionally. Remember, his regime was never voted into leadership. You understand? And in this modern era, according to the Freedom Charter of South Africa, here I have a copy, indicates that each and every government must be pro-people. You understand? To the contrary, when it comes to Museveni, he is not pro-people, right? That is why he is fearful that if people are doing well off financially, he won't be able to control them. You understand? So, the parastatal company he is trying to bring back, he wants to steal the money. Do you know why he wants to steal the money? Because our continued effort to expose his insidiousness and murderous tendencies have led to the international lending bodies to close and to denounce and to disassociate with Mr. Museveni. You understand? So now that he cannot access international fundings, donor funders are pulling out. Now, Mr. Museveni, he says that I want to steal Ugandans, and most importantly, he is so resented towards us for having ostracized him out of leadership vehemently in the broad daylight, telling him that you are not welcomed. So he is now on a quest to steal the remaining penny into the pockets of the people of the Republic of Uganda. Brothers and sisters, this is a grand theft scheme. So fellow Ugandans, ASP Asime urged us that when you hear such on the mainstream media, their political pundits, they are going to come start amplifying such nonsensical, as they have been trying to negate the activities of National Unity Platform, substantiated as they are, incontestable in their appearance. For the past 40 years, the National Rwandese Movement or any other aim never constructed any headquarter of its political ideology, but they chose to invest more than 20 billions in political pundits and some stooges and minions to come and create all sorts of propaganda such that the general public can perceive the presence of National Unity Platform in one way or the other negatively, which is impossible. They fail to understand that whatever milestone National Unity Platform has managed to achieve, it is the result of the embracement of the people. Thus, Museveni did not have a pen when he was fighting a guerrilla war. But the peasant kept him. They gave him food. They gave him shelter. You understand? So he expects the fellow Ugandans to persecute Kyagulanyi Ssentamu or to distrust National Unity Platform. That is impossible, Mr. Museveni. And this is just the beginning. You have not seen a real revolutionary because he is still in diaspora. He is in Uganda. He is everywhere. He is everywhere. Creating bridges, not building walls. He is constructing bridges, not constructing walls. Leadership, Steve Production indicated it nicely that his traversing of the diaspora, it is exposing the rot of Mr. Museveni. It is not escaping. It is not going into exile. No. Kyagulanyi Ssentamu is too smart to be threatened by Mr. Museveni's ineptness or limited mind. Leave alone that it is in a degenerating mode. He cannot be afraid of Mr. Museveni. He has spent 60 years within the borders of Uganda, eating and moving and updating us as he promised. He is a man. Because philosophy indicates man is as good as his words. He has not betrayed any of his statements. Any of his stated statements, he acted upon them as he promised them. We are in the process of demanding our victory. None of the Sophos have just deviated from their stated goals. Yesterday, the Secretary General, David Lewis Lubongoya Owechitiwa indicated that in the phases of demanding our victory, they don't have any limited time. No, we did not assign a time that we demand for our victory for 2 weeks. No. It is infinity up until we eradicate national interplatform, NRM ideology. So brothers and sisters, Mr. Museveni, having stolen the wealth of Uganda, having taken everything, having confiscated all the mining sectors, having, taken each and everything, we all remember that ASP Asime reminded us that Mr. Museveni, he is the determining president on the affairs of Kenyans. That Mr. Museveni determines the affairs of Tanzanians. That is why I said that we ballistically attack Museveni's stooges, staged as presidents within East Africa. When you look at Southern Sudan, Museveni makes the last decision. We heard it from the horse's mouth. When Raila Odinga was delegated by the East African IGAD nonsensical to go and see what is the root cause of this military conflict in Southern Sudan, he came out and informed the general public that Mr. Salva Kiir, Museveni's stooge there in Southern Sudan, have told him that the decision has to come from Entebbe or Kampala, right? That Museveni makes the final decision with regards to the conflict that is claiming the lives of Southern Sudan. These are black people. Remember, for quite a long time, they have been driving a narrative that our sufferation has got a lot to do with the Europeans and the Americans, right? But when we observe for the past 40 years, there is no white man, there is no Caucasian who has ever pulled the trigger in the Congolese jungle, in the Uganda forests, everywhere. It is only black people. When you look at Mr. Museveni instigated the conflict run by Dagalo, it is black against black. Black against black. There is no Caucasian that is there. We are not trying to exonerate them, but what is being accomplished in the interest of the white man, it is being executed by a well-melaninated being as myself. But I will never reach to that degenerating point to betray my own flesh, to betray the image of God. Because a Rastaman reminded us that every mind, it is God's own, every life, it is God's own inception. And every mind, it is God's own conception. And every skin, it is God's own complexion to our satisfaction. So one may ask that, Bob, do you think Mr. Museveni's mind was God's mind? I will tell you that it is God, the universal mind. And what Museveni is doing, it is somebody who deviated from the righteous path. Suppose you have a child at home, and the child becomes so rebellious and does not listen to you. And when you set strategies and activities for all of them to be done, this child, he is always late and at sometimes does not do that exactly. That is Museveni. He rejected the will of God. And he reached an extent that he goes into darkness to search for energy to prolong his murderous regime, right? So we are not concerned of Museveni's wickedness, but we know that it is God who is operative within us, an integral part of God that resides within each and every individual being. That is what Jesus meant by the statement when he said that if you knew that which is within you, you will command a mountain and to go. Kyagulanyi Ssentamu have exhibited that. Olivia Lutaya exhibited that when she emerged out of jail And when she was asked by a journalist, what would you request from Mr. Museveni? She said, Mr. Museveni, there is nothing else I need from you but our victory. That is the Christ power that the people of Uganda exhibited as they outvoted Museveni out of power. So brothers and sisters, Dr. Lina Zedriga, by saying tersely, she tersely summarized Museveni's political pundits and propagandas, in their effort to negate national inter-platform. She said that we are known for work and good works only. In those few lines, all of their efforts, all of the hundreds of words they have spoken, they have been extinguished one time. Simple lines. We are known for works and only good works. That is what we said. We are so happy to have her. And we know exactly that parliamentarians cannot go to legitimize Mr. Museveni because she has the Christ power. She is a Christian, a Catholic by faith. And we trust her, Mama Lina Zedriga. Mama Lina Zedriga, this is the Museveni we are fighting. We are saying Museveni is continuing to use the neighboring countries to perpetuate his demonic deeds. Earlier on in the month, ASP Asime came out and indicated that all the parastatal companies, Mr. Museveni is pretending to return now to the coffers of Uganda, all the external real estates which was owned by Uganda. Most of the things in Kenya were transferred into William Ruto's daughter's names, right? All the parastatal, the real estate properties, we all remember Sekabaka Mutesa bought the landing site at Mombasa Port. And he bought warehouses, huge, very, very big. We all remember Joel Sanyonyi when he was chairing the Kosase committee. They traversed alongside Mwadanku Nyingi to look around the world. Where are all these parastatals? Where are all these national assets? Only to find out that the Uganda House in Britain, the underground floor, it is being utilized by the so-called embassy, but the embassy serves Museveni's interest, not the interests of Ugandans. This is why we are complaining. When they went to New York, Uganda House in New York, it is in areas they don't pay the rates. When we go to Congo almost confiscated the building because government does not pay even a single coin. When we go to Nigeria, we saw it in the newspaper that a private real estate dealer dragged the government of Uganda into the court for not paying the areas. You can see that the more Museveni stays in the political institution of Uganda, it is a national shame. He does not depict a good picture of a sinful people, yet Ugandans are brilliant people. Yet Ugandans are brilliant people. So brothers and sisters, let us confront these people vehemently. Brothers and sisters, yesterday, with regards to the fire that gutted Katwe, ASP Asime came out again and correlated these incidents. When Katwe slums were being were set alight, in Kenya, the most popular shanty town, which known as Kibera, was also ablaze. Now, ASP Asime came out and informed the Ugandans that, he informed the Kenyans that Mr. Ruto has been given a script by Mr. Museveni that you must initiate arsonism as one of your key factors to impoverish the society. Now, the arsonism cases, arsonic cases in Kenya, they are on a rise. They are not only banning marketplaces or working places. They are targeting schools, most importantly. By doing this, they are impoverishing the community as well as sacrificing to demons. When they ban schools, When they burn schools, it is not just burning schools. They are sacrificing to demons. Brothers and sisters, fellow Ugandans, to all you with a sound mind, I'm requesting, and I'm not categorizing that there is a mind which is not sound. No, no. I'm saying, please, would you go back into ASP Asime's, security alerts? And remember that when an athlete, a marathoner, was claiming her money from Janet Museveni, remember she was enforced to be the Minister of Education, Sports and Recreation, right? And Culture. Janet Museveni, all of these people who hoist the national flag on the international scene, they come up with their rewards. But it is received by the state because of the transaction, right? Now, this young lady, a Kenyan Ugandan, married to a Kenyan, but a Ugandan lady, staying on the border. During the week of the campaign, ASP Asime came and told us that Mr. Museveni's family went to a witch doctor. And the witch doctor, during that time, there was the Gen Z. Yeah, there was a Gen Z in Kenya. I think 2023. Yeah, 2023. There was a Gen Z in Kenya, and Luto was having a very, very tough time. And Luto was Museveni at that time, because whatever he used to reach the election, it was, staged by Museveni. Now, when they went to a witch doctor told them that if the young people of Kenya and the young people of Uganda, probably even the Tanzanians, when they join together, you are all going down. None of you will survive. Now, the witch doctor advised them that you need to get a unifying factor that can soothe the boiling of these young people. And when they asked what that factor could be, they found out they need somebody who is influential, whether in athleticism or in politics or in any field, but that person must be, popular. So they only found out that the only unifying factor was a runner, a person who runs marathon. And this person was on Janet Museveni's case, demanding her money. Now, Janet Museveni proposed that we have a marathoner who is even owes us money. She owes money. Now, they said, let us sacrifice this one. If that lady was burnt into the house, she was burnt into the house, that she was sacrificed to calm down the Gen Z in Kenya and the roaming Gen Z in Uganda. You understand? This is the Asonic cases and the wicked hand of Mr. Museveni being in Kenya and Tanzania respectively. Remember when Kyagulanyi Ssentamu was hosted in Kenya on a national TV, he cautioned the people of Kenya that you must protect your constitution jealously before it becomes weak to protect you. And he pointed out some aspects that signaled the presence of Museveni into the affairs of Kenya. But apparently, they never take it seriously. You understand? So, the ongoing persecution of Kenyans. Mr. Ruto, according to ASP Asime, he's going to start burning schools. He is burning schools. He is burning markets. When yesterday, ASP Asime talking about that school in Kibera, I could not stop imagining, while I was reading Obama's book, Dreams from My Father. Obama one day, he went to meet his auntie Sarah. Sarah was staying in Kibera there. Yeah. She went with a woman, driving the Beetle of a woman. Then Obama stood somewhere with a clear view, looking into that shanty town. So when ASP Asime said Kibera has been set ablaze, that scenery of Dr. Obama speaking of Kibera came into my mind. I could see that Mr. Museveni, he is but a man who spearheads in all sorts of vandalism because he wants to cling on to power. Now, For quite a long time, we've been telling you that dictatorship tendencies are contagious. You see, they are contagious. They are contagious. We need to combat them from every angle. Fellow East African, fellow Central Africans, the people of South Africans, do not say that it cannot be, it cannot immigrate, because we come from there and we come with our corrupted tendencies. So let us battle out Mr. Museveni before it reaches your shore. Till I say to you, fellow Africans, the things that brings us together outweigh the things that divides us. The democracy, that is the gist. What Sir Stephen Biko talked about is that it is good to fight for an ideology. It is good to die fighting for an ideology that will live than to live fighting for an ideology that is bound to die. Selfishness cannot survive. Selfishness cannot survive. Anybody who is enslaved by bestial instincts, that is selfishness, cannot make it through life. You can accumulate abnormal wealth through extortion, through persecution. But the moment God Almighty relocate your soul, none of your offspring will be as greedy, as envious, as murderous as you were. So that goes on to tell us that we must be contented with the little we have. We must be contented, and we must not choose silence amidst the oppression. Global citizens, let us join forces. Let us eradicate dictatorialism off the continent of Africa. There is no way we can enjoy life when a single man creates a creed and enforces it for the past 40 years. Oh, global citizens, this is the Museveni that is corrupting all leaders in the region. ASP Asime again came out and informed the general public that the man who is tormenting the government of Sudan, that man by the names of Dagalo, he was last seen recently here 2 weeks or one ago in Kawempe division. Kawempe is one of the 7 hills that constitutes Kampala city, right? So it is a suburban area whereby it used to house an industrial park, right? And that industrial park was specializing in processing posho or maize milling processing, right? So Dagalo came to procure food, and he found Museveni vowing that this year, this term, so he thinks that he is going to starve Ugandans and surpass the starvation he organized during the 1990. You understand? Fellow Ugandans, do you hear what Museveni is planning for us for having outvoted him? Do you hear what he is planning for us? That he's going to starve us. Brothers and sisters, sinful people did not come out to ask the government, how did these children perform in school? Yet the security alert came on the public domain. Remember, dear leadership, contained therein in National Interplatform, Conventionalism is the curse of modern philosophy. In what sense? The modern philosophy we're talking about, it is thus, this Chagulanyi-led administration negotiate not with the terrorists, with the extremists, and that it is what characterizes Museveni's being entirely extremism and terrorism. Nothing else. He is not a man who is substantiated in brain to dialogue, because most of his ideologies, they are baseless. They have no foundation. You understanding, brothers and sisters? This is the Museveni who complained who complained that the Electoral Commission was in connivance with Mr. Obote and Mwanga by perpetuating gerrymandering in the favor of UPC. It is this Museveni in 1980, 18th December, Museveni indicated that it is the government that was buying the electorates with food and shoes. It is this very Museveni who is persecuting Kyagulanyi Ssentamu, who turned the residence of Kyagulanyi Ssentamu into a military garrison or barracks, right? This is the Museveni. And the people seem to be leaving things to move the way they are. We cannot see any religious leaders staging a protesting, showing Museveni that you have crossed the red line. That you have crossed the red line. Why are you persecuting a young man who was voted into leadership? What kind of image are you portraying to the people of your peers, people in your same age bracket, 115? What kind of picture are you portraying, Demonic Museveni? What kind of a picture? We don't see any charisman who comes to stand firm on the ground and look into the eyes of a demon and ostracize it, that get out of here, demon. Jesus never negotiated with demonic people. Jesus never negotiated with the Pharisees and scribes who had turned God's temple into a marketplace. What he chose rather was to overturn their tables and even chase them with a kick in a butt. Nigga, he did. Sorry about that. He did that exactly. You understand? Jesus, he was vehement. He never chose a soft touch when he was dealing with the filthiness. No, he never chose that. He never chose that. And he was impaled on the cross. And he never asked for forgiveness. Least did they know that they were messing around with God himself on the surface of the earth. Meaning that by God refusing to destroy Satan, and Kyagulanyi Ssentamu highlighted it in his artistic knowledge, that God being so powerful, benevolent, and omnipotent, he had whatever it takes to extinguish Satan. But he left him there to be the defining factor, whether his creation has faith in him or they rather choose to worship their fellow creation. We understand? Kyagulanyi Ssentamu pointed out, meaning that whoever serves the interest of Museveni, you will not be exonerated because choices are there. Choices are there. You either take light or darkness. In the case of Uganda, anything that comes out of Museveni, that is considered darkness because he has not done anything in the favor of the people of the Republic of Uganda. My brothers and sisters, tell me, those Demonic Museveni enthusiasts, ask him one thing that is generational and beneficial. That is generational. Those benefactors of Museveni, you heard his sycophant promising us that M23 is going to kill us. The general public and the intellects thought he was joking. He was joking. Trust me. Ugandans are being whisked away, not by UPDF, not by the national police, no, but by M23. By M23. By M23. By M23. Our deputy presidents, they spend weeks in incommunicado. But religious organization, they never come out to ask Museveni, who is abducting senior citizens in the country? Who is abducting these senior citizens in the country? Nobody dared to challenge Mr. Museveni. And whoever comes out, he is either meted up with despicable brutality. It is on the public domain. His Excellency Kyagulanyi Ssentamu, he is traversing the country to tell these global powers, the world order, we know them, brothers and sisters. You cannot escape them. You cannot escape them. Let's support him with the prayers so that the world order may understand the predicament, the conundrum we have endured. Britain, Britain, we know Britain by means of credible information. When Museveni came to you, the leadership of 10 Downing Street, Museveni came to you and pleaded that you must do something to stop Kyagulanyi Ssentamu. 10 Downing Street, you assured Museveni that you must keep on resisting. But when people reject, we will have no other choice. And that you said, Britain, according to the trustable information, you said that you will try to do whatever it takes to cripple Kyagulanyi Ssentamu. We didn't know what you promised. And just of recently, ASP Asime again indicated that a foreign national was heard on the telephone with Museveni when Museveni is pleading and promise to do whatever the white people wants to be done in East Africa, given the fact that he willed immense influence even in the African Union. So fellow Africans, we see that Bill Gates introduces new types of medicine. We don't know whether it's going to pass through Museveni and Bill Gates' influence, the other people, not Museveni to be taken out. This is what we are complaining against. What was Museveni promising the European or the white people? What was that? That he will do whatever they want to do, but they must allow him to finish this term. And what program does he have? It is to annihilate ethnicities, to establish atrocities, to facilitate genocides, It is ongoing in Sudan. ASP Asime told us that the fleet of trailers carrying maize, cereal, beans and maize, it is now closing in to reach to Southern Sudan. We informed the United Nations, we informed the African Union, we informed United Nations Human Rights, we informed United Nations Refugee Cooperation for Refugee. We informed all relevant bodies that these are the people that are slaying Ugandans. But conventionalism yet again, one may wonder, ask yourself, brothers and sisters, it took the International Criminal Court 20 years to start hearing Museveni's complaints against Kony. 20 years, 20 full years, brothers and sisters, 20 years to start hearing a conflict that is claiming the lives of people. So what Museveni has done in these 25 years, it is to cleanse all the witnesses. Yet information, cutters of ASP Asime and Tichalu Kajubi Rumbie respectively, indicates that Museveni launched an operation titled Iron Fist. It was headed by the late Kazini and the living Mugisha Muntu. That operation was intended to encamp all northerners in one place. Now one wonders, how did the so-called LRA rebels accessed them when they were in the custody of the government, protected by the government, having removed them from their houses respectively and encamped them. So the government's purpose or a hidden agenda of the Operation Iron Fist, it was to bring these people together so that they can massacre them relentlessly, a thing which they executed thoroughly without no hindrance or whatsoever. You understand? You all remember a documentary, A Brilliant Genocide. Brothers and sisters, in that documentary, the current Museveni's Minister for Constitutional Affairs and Justice, Mr. Norbert Mao, was a witness of Museveni's orchestrating that genocide. Right now, he is serving Museveni's interest. And this is the man, Norbert Mao, who said that in the wake of Mr. Museveni's massacring, the people, the polling agents of Honorable Mwanga Kivumbi, the Deputy President, Buganda Region NUP, they massacred the people So Mr. Museveni stooge, who is eyeing for the speaker seat shit, he said that indeed National Unity Platform, they had a van full of machetes. Gaslighting, trying to cement what Museveni said. Currently, these former National Unity Platform, so-called men of legality, they are coercing the persecuted deputy president in prison that he must accept that Kyagulanyi Ssentamu was indeed into, terror activities, right? That he must accept to incriminate Kyagulanyi Ssentamu. He was promised to be given 50 billion shillings. 50 billion shillings. But guess what, global citizens? The money which is being given to these people, these are all counterfeit. This is counterfeit. It is not money that is going to be accepted in the bank. No, it is not. You all know that ASP Asime came out and indicated to you, Museveni sycophants, those who thinks that Museveni is unbuggable. Listen, whoever was given money to be in attendance when Museveni is swearing himself in, ASP Asime indicated that none of you has got access on their private banks on which they deposited that money, corruption money. Remember, that is taxpayers' money. Taxpayers' money, whether it's printed on Museveni's order, for us we know Museveni is as poor as he was. Because we have been wondering, where did Museveni buy his first cow? To now, to be owning heads of cattle. Where did he buy his first cow? From who? From who? Where did Museveni had a plot of land? Right now, he owns the land. He reached an extent to provide land to the legends of Buganda. A land in Buganda. Mr. Museveni, you have provoked us. You keeping on tossing stones in beehive. Mr. Museveni, you keeping on tossing stones. You don't know the resentment that keeps on piling in our mind, Mr. Museveni. Oh, Mr. Museveni, this which you're trying to provoke, it will not reach you because you'll be flown outside the moment it erupts. Even Gaddafi expected that. Expected that. But the uncertainty of the things you thought you pioneered might catch you in its grip. You might be viced. Oh, Mr. Museveni, remember, man is planning. It is not God is planning. Mr. Museveni, can you control the breath of life? No, you can't. Meaning that you don't know what is likely to unfold in the next jiffy. You don't. You've been looking for Kyagulanyi Ssentamu for 60 days to no avail. That goes on to show you that you are limited. You are blinded. And that waits you. It is going to be nasty. Mr. Kagame and Mr. Museveni, you are going down together as you started destabilizing East Africa together. Global citizens, I beg to submit before you. Fellow Ugandans, keep your flag flying. The president is traversing the world, laying strategies. Oh, our wish, if he can conceive a mind of an armed struggle, Mr. Museveni, that is when you will understand how detested you are and all your offspring in our midst. I'm made to submit. Brothers and sisters, raise your flag. Do not accept anything being spoken. Do not accept anything being spoken. Museveni, now he is the sole proprietor or owner of NTV or Nations Group company in East Africa. He owns it. He owns it individually. He has persecuted the Nation company. He has persecuted the Monitor all along. eventually they sold it. They sold it to him. There is no Tanzanian investor that is a mask of Mr. Museveni. Brothers and sisters, we all remember how Museveni procured confiscated WBS and they turned it into NBS. It used to be owned by an educator, an entrepreneur, an industrialist. Sir Gordon Wavamuno, Mr. Museveni, you have persecuted the industrialist. We don't see anything you have done. Brothers and sisters, allow me to recap on these companies that Museveni sold. According to the Daily Monitor. They are in their 70s. Brothers and sisters, in closing, let me recite for you, young men in age, young girl in age, this is what Uganda was. We wouldn't be in diaspora if it wasn't from 7. We wouldn't be in diaspora. Our forefathers had foresaw it. They thought thoroughly that in accordance to our, proliferation, we would be with the companies. Brothers and sisters, according to the Daily Monitor, in 1990, the NRM government embarked on a large scale, yes, I'm coming, son, embarked on a large scale to sell off all previously owned parastatal companies. The general reason which was given for this privatizing of Uganda's national economy was that Ugandans had failed to manage their own national assets. That is the reason the NRA gave, that Ugandans could not manage their own assets. Now this is the licit. Brothers and sisters, Uganda Spill Mills, Nairo Breweries Limited, Uganda East African Distilleries, Uganda American Insurance, Shell Uganda Limited, Lake Victoria Bottling Company Limited, Uganda Securico Limited, Uganda Agricultural Enterprise Limited, Uganda Tea Corporation, Tampeco Uganda Limited, White Horse Inn, Blender Uganda Limited, Hotel Margarita, Mount Moto Hotel, Rock Hotel, Uganda Cement Industries, Hoima, Lira Hotel, Uganda Grain Milling, Comrade Cycle Uganda Limited, Uganda Crane Estate Limited, Uganda Industrial Machinery Limited, Second National Operators, Entebbe Handling Service, Bankris Bank Uganda Limited, Lango Development Corporation, Papco Industries Limited, Uganda Consolidated Property, Bank of Baroda, British American Tobacco, Uganda Bati, Uganda Clays Limited, NEC Pharmaceutical Company, Masindi Hotel, Uganda Telecom Limited, Central Purchasing Company, Kakila Sugar Works, Steel Corporation of East Africa, Uganda Garments Industry, Apollo Hotel Corporation Limited, Associated Match Company, Uganda Commercial Bank, Renzori Highland Tea Corporation, Uganda Electricity Generation, Nailo Hotel International. All of these were created to provide employment. But Mr. Museveni, he did not like it. He did not like it. In closing, to you, Mr. Museveni, His Excellency Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu speaks. Uganda was here before you, and Uganda will remain long after you're gone. You don't have to burn it down on your way out. The best guarantee for your legacy and for your security and for what you and your people have earned in the last 40 years is to allow a peaceful and democratic transition. The opportunities are available, and we are not a vengeful people. We still believe in peace. We believe in justice, and we believe in reconciliation. Mr. Museveni, remember, he's a good man whose mind and his words does not change. Fellow Ugandans, fellow combatants, we are removing Dictator Museveni. Yosh, yosh, yosh!